What's going on, Hop listeners? Now, people ask us all the time how we stay fit after drinking all that beer, and we tell them it's with the help of FNX, the one-stop shop for all your workout needs and regimens. Now, they've got new supplements coming out every day, including protein, pre-workout, recovery. They have supplements for health like super greens and amino acids. They've got everything you need online, and it's just one click away. Now, when you're tired and you're sore from that tough workout, FNX has got your back with refueling protein powder. Steven and I use this after every workout. Restart AM protein to help jumpstart your day, and relaxing sleep aid to help you get a deeper sleep at night. Check out fnxfit.com to get started and to work off all that dope craft beer you've been sipping on. Don't forget to use HOPOD15, that's HOPOD15 at checkout for a discount. And together we can fuel for greatness with FNX.
What it do, baby?
Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome, one and all. This is The Hop. It's a craft beer podcast with Stephen Humes and Gabriel Apria.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us.
We're back. We're back for round 86. We keep coming back. We say every week we'll be back, and then it ends up being Thursday, and here we are.
We're so glad you guys are here, starting off Thirsty Thursday with us. It's a cute 11 a.m. It's the perfect time to start drinking, and good for you guys for starting off the day right.
So what we're doing today is we're going to a craft brewery, a good old-fashioned craft brewery from the center of the country. Last week we were in New Jersey. This week we're in Illinois at Destihl Brewing, or Destihl Brewing.
Yes, we are.
We're not really sure how to say it, but it's Destihl. We're going to call it Destihl Brewery. And they're a dope spot out of Illinois, the Chicago area.
But what part of Illinois? Normal, Illinois. That's the name of the city. That's amazing.
I know. It's fantastic. It's
Come
truly...
join us. We're normal. What?
Come to normal. Come find normal. Find your normal.
Perfect. There you go.
See, they should hire me as a slogan person.
Person.
Listen, this one's for the sour people, okay? We Last week we did a whole flight. We had some IPAs, we had some ambers, and we said, you know what? We're leaving you out, sour people. And now we're catering directly to you because we have two beers, both from their Wild Sour series. So that's what's coming up. It's going to be a good one. Stick around. And thank you for finding us, for joining us. If you're new to the show, we drink beer, we have fun. That's what we do. We do it every week. We do it on Thirsty Thursday. It's our favorite day of the week. You can keep engaged with us all week long at the HO Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. We are a video product. You can find the show on YouTube if you want to see what we look like and soak in the glory of our beautiful faces. Mine is a little bit sunburned, but that's okay. And you can email the show if you have suggestions, if you have requests, anything like that. We are thehopod@gmail.com. And finally, wherever you're listening, Apple, Spotify, Google, go ahead and give us a rate and review on there. It helps the show. It helps us make the show better for you. We love reading them. We love receiving them. So give us a rate and review. All the stars, the more stars, the merrier. If you can do 6 stars, go ahead and do that.
If you can break the internet and give us a 6th star, we would give you all the shout outs in the world. And as always, let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know if you miss the Olympics just as much as we do. They are over, and it was a great couple weeks. What sport do you think Steven and I could do? I think we'd do something well. So if you got suggestions, please let us know.
I'd love to expand on that topic, but we do have a lot of news to get into, so we're going to dive into that real quick.
Beer news.
The definitive answer is speed walking. I feel really confident that we could crush it at speed walking.
I don't know. Yes, but also I think you give you and I, a couple weeks to train with archery. I think we're no brainers on that. I I can do that. Like,
I don't know about that. That dude is that bearded USA guy who was crushing it out there.
That dad out there.
He never misses. He was I don't know. I'm sorry that we don't know your name, buddy, but
the man with the plan.
Okay, beer news. There's an alcohol consulting firm called Bump Williams, and they recently completed analyzing industry trends, and their recent report has warned craft breweries to develop off-premise sales and marketing strategies for the back half of 2021. Translation, that means they think that craft breweries are going to have to close again. So it's something to keep an eye on because we don't know what this Delta variant is doing, but that's their prediction. They're a respected consulting firm in the alcohol beverage space. So definitely something to be aware of. Further, PepsiCo has partnered with Boston Beer Company. They're making hard Mountain Dew. This is not a drill. Mountain Dew is getting alcohol.
I don't know why, but like I don't remember the last time I had Mountain Dew, but like I would try this.
Me either, but if you made it alcoholic, I'd have to try it out of curiosity. I'm not even a Mountain Dew person. I was more of a Sprite. Like I was a Coca-Cola person, really, back when I drank soda. But if it was alcoholic, I'd give it a go.
Why not?
Athletic Brewing is opening a gym and tap room combo in Austin, Texas. I am so intrigued by this. I mean, it's really my dream. Like, the gym and beer are two things I take very seriously.
Right.
And leave it to Athletic Brewing to just bring it all together.
I feel like if you go in the wrong order, that could make for a bad day.
But their beer is non-alcoholic and healthy.
Still, though, I mean, you're like, it's a lot of, it makes you full. Work out first, then reward yourself with a non-alcoholic beer. But this does sound dope.
That's probably the way I would go with it. Yeah. And finally, Goose Island has announced the variants of their annual Bourbon County Stout. This is something to definitely look out for. We love it. They release it every year on Black Friday, and the release will happen on November 26th. But the variants are very alcoholic, lots of ABV, and lots of fun flavors.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. They're using bourbon barrels from Heaven Hill, from Blanton's, from Elijah Craig. They're aging these things. They got, their original variant, which is their regular 14% Bourbon County Stout, and then they got all kinds of different flavor combinations, a cherry wood one, reserve, a double barrel toasted barrel stout, and then the one I want to call people's attention to because I think it's interesting is the classic cola stout, which is combining the refreshing nature of classic cola and picking up the flavor profile from whiskey cola. They added lime, they added orange juice, zest, coriander, cassia bark, nutmeg, brown sugar, and vanilla to bring out the flavors. Michael J. Breen.
Bang! Exclamation point!
I don't know if J is his middle initial, but holy shit.
Better be. Mike Breen is the only person who can fully encapsulate our feeling toward that. That sounds incredible. That sounds amazing. I could be wrong. Did they get new boxes, new flair with the bottles, or am I making that up?
I mean, the labels. I think the labels look about the same as they do every year from these pictures,
okay.
But I could be wrong about that.
Maybe I saw one and I was like, oh. Ooh, that's cool. Can Arts and Crafts. My Can Arts and Crafts brain went off. So
yeah, right. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. Come Black Friday, you don't need to stand in line at Walmart to get that TV. Go to the liquor store and get your hands on a Goose Island Bourbon County Stout.
Let's get into our first news story. The New York City Brewers Guild is revoking the non-sequitur beer project's membership. This is something that came to light pretty recently due to allegations of sexual assault against one of its co-founders, Gage Siegel. This all surfaced on social media. Two women came forward to share their stories from the co-founder of the sexual assault in 2017 and 2019 is when these things happened. The quote from the Brewers Guild says, "We are aware of the recent allegations against the co-founder, Gage, of Non Sequitur Beer Project. These allegations directly contradict the core values and mission of New York City Brewers Guild. In order to ensure a safe space for our guests, members and community at large, the Guild has revoked the membership of Non Sequitur Beer Project, and they will not be participating in any upcoming Guild-sponsored events, meetings, or collaborations. Clearly, they still have core issues to work out within their own organization. In a July 26th Instagram post, Non Sequitur co-founder acknowledged he had, this is a direct quote, been part of the problem that the company advocates against. So they aren't shying away from it. They are bringing light to it, which is definitely a step in the right direction. Clearly, they still have things to work out. The one thing that I did want to mention is that Non Sequitur does donate a portion of the proceeds from each beer release to philanthropic organizations, including Planned Parenthood and the RAIN, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. So they are, trying to give back and doing what they can, but this is definitely something that, we've been seeing a lot of. We told you guys we're going to report on it any chance we get, and it's something that I think the New York Brewers Guild should have done, and it's a good thing they did do this. So as we always say, guys, clean it up.
Yeah, and I think the bigger story here is that the Brewers Association is removing them, and this is a step. This is a step. This is a part of it. Of course, it stems from Brienne Allen and her Instagram movement that she started a few months ago, and we've seen the National Brewers Association and the local state ones. These guilds develop guidelines around this. We've talked about it. We've reported on it, and now you're seeing a brewery, have consequences in real time.
What they downright deserve too.
Absolutely. I mean, the brewery is doing what they can to listen. Hopefully that's what they're going to continue to do. I have read the complaints from both of the women that have been brave enough to speak up. They are disturbing and troubling. The brewery is brewing a version of Brave Noise, which we mentioned is the beer collab that's sparked out of all this. But, like we said, there's really not much else to say except clean it up. Speaking of, Kimberly Galinsky has been named the next president and general manager of Wormtown Brewing. We've recently reported that co-founder Scott Metzger is stepping away. He took over the president GM role in an interim role. Now he's going to Maui. Good for you, Scott. At the beach. No, he's going to be chief operating officer at Maui Brewing Company. But Kim Galinsky comes to the company from Treehouse Brewing, where she was the office manager there, but she kind of had a meteoric rise. She got her start in the beer industry at Berkshire Brewing, I believe, and she retired and went to work for a car dealership. But basically, I think the quote from the article I read was like, the car dealership was like, unless we put a brewery in here, we're not keeping her. She's a rock star, and she was actually suggested to the company's new CEO, David Fields. She was suggested by Scott Metzger himself. So in an interview with is it Worcester or Worcester? I never know.
Worcester.
I hate that word. In an interview with their magazine, David Fields, the CEO, he said, when you meet her, she brings integrity, she brings passion, knowledge, and experience. She could have worked at a car dealership, and she still would have been a great fit for us. The fact that she has an experience at an amazing brewery is just a plus. She is an amazing candidate to do this. She's going to take the company to new heights. I am pumped to see somebody like this, a local, coming from a local brewery, and somebody who clearly, just when you read about her story and her career, she clearly just has a passion for the industry, and that's the first and foremost thing. And she's excited, and she's got energy, and I think she's gonna be great for Wormtown. So this is a positive step in their reformation, if you will.
Let's get this bread, Kim. Our final story: pancakes and beer. The collaboration is finally happening, and not in the form of a new beer. Yay! Yay, indeed. Not in the form of a new beer, but at a place. IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, is adding beer, wine, and champagne to select locations. They are doing a soft launch at some of their locations. 3 restaurants in San Diego and New Mexico will be the first. They featuring a new menu. It's called Bubbles Wine and Brews. Here's the thing. The beer selection isn't amazing, but
yet
Yes, exactly. Who knows? Maybe this will lead to something better, something bigger, craft beer. Maybe one morning you'll walk into an IHOP, you'll get the blueberry pancakes and a double IPA. Who knows?
Woof.
Yeah.
What a way to kick it off.
Hey, sometimes that's what you need in this world. Yeah, so it's Bubble Wines and Brews. The beer selection right now is Bud Light, Blue Moon, Corona. They're also going to have mimosas.
And wait. And locally sourced beers. See,
and
now
locally
there you
sourced
go.
beers, yes. So depending on where you are, you might get
that's
something
exactly
good.
what we need. Exactly, right. Okay.
Right. They're going to have mimosas. They're going to have wines from Barefoot. And right now, like I said, San Diego, New Mexico, with expansions planned in Rhode Island, Maryland, Ohio, and New York in the coming months.
Hey.
Let's get it. I don't know if there's an IHOP near me, but I'll sure find one. The move comes after the restaurant chain's Drinks and Dining survey suggested that younger guests were craving an alcoholic beverage alongside their plates. That is what the IHOP president, Jay Johns, said in a press release. So they're going to try it out. They're going to see what happens. And pumped.
You don't say. They took a survey and said, they want a drink. They want a drink, John.
Why not? Who knew?
All right. We have to get into I want a drink. So that's what's going to happen right now. I propose a toast. And today's toast is a poem because poetry works so well in the toast world. And this is a poem by George Arnold. And it's called Beer. Here, with my beer, I sit, while golden moments flit. Alas, they pass, unheeded by, and as they fly, I, being dry, sit idly, sipping here, my beer. Oh, finer far than fame or riches are the graceful smoke wreaths of this cigar. Why should I weep, wail, or sigh? What if luck has passed me by? What if my hopes are dead, my pleasures fled? Have I not still my fill of good right cheer, cigars, and beer? Go, whining youth, forsooth! Go, weep and wail, sigh and grow pale. Weave melancholy rhymes on the old times, whose joys like shadowy ghosts appear. But leave me to my beer. Gold is dross, love is loss. So, if I gulp my sorrows down, or see them drown in foamy draughts of old nut brown, then I do wear the crown without the cross. Cheers. Cheers,
I heard
everybody.
a little bit of Shakespeare in there.
I mean, Shakespeare did not write this, but you can see you feel the influences.
Absolutely.
It's all in there.
I'm ready to drink now.
You ready to get sour? Sour up in this piece?
Sour me up.
Pucker up.
All right. Who here, by show of hands, likes key lime pie?
Oh, Steven does. Yay for
like
key lime pie. Yeah.
So, let's start off with a beer. We've got the Key Lime Pie Goza. As Steven said, this is part of their Wild Sour series. Both of the beers we have are from this series. A lot of beers in this series. We'll talk about those later, but me oh my. This beer is 5.2%. Beer Advocate gave it a 90. Untapped gave it a 3.9. There are 12 IBUs to speak of. And on the SRM chart, we're looking at about, I would say, between like a 5 and a 7.
Yep, it's golden. It's got a slight haze to it, but for the most part, it's pretty clear.
It's like straw yellow, pretty much. You can see through. Oh, you can see me. Whoa, hello.
You can see plenty of bubbles coming up from the glass, plenty of carbonation, and from the can, we've added key lime, vanilla, and lactose to our Leipzig style Gose to create a liquid version of the popular dessert. The result is a tart, creamy, refreshing treat for your taste buds. Now you can have your pie and drink it too. That's fun.
For those of you who don't know, the Leipzig style Goza. The description that we found online was these beers typically contain malted barley and unmalted wheat, with some versions also containing oats. Salt, table salt, and coriander may be present in low amounts or may be absent. Carbonation is high to very high, effervescent.
Yeah, I'm not sure that a Leipzig style Goza is really any different. That might just be a long-winded way of saying Goza, but
yeah, I think so, because I was just like, I mean, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's just a full description of it. But when they say unmalted wheat, I mean the wheat profile in here is intense. We have 2-row malt, we have Munich malt, we have aromatic malt. And then we also have wheat and we have flaked oats. The flaked oats tend to give a beer a creaminess. So when they describe the beer as tart and creamy, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Everything I read online was tart, creamy, lime. And off of the one smell I just took, Correctamundo. Definitely smells very lime-like, very, very tart. I feel like the saltiness will come through on the taste as it normally does. It's only 175 calories. Skinny.
It's also the coriander comes through on the nose for sure, and there's and the wheat as well. I mean, there's almost like you smell it and you smell the tart and you smell the lime, you smell the esters of the sour. But if you go behind that, there's almost something like, was that Blue Moon? Like just like right behind it.
I was just about to say a little bit of spiciness almost.
Yeah. It's a different kind of spice from like certain sours. Like this doesn't smell like. It's weird to say smell sour because sour is more of a feeling. It's more of a tartness, but you can smell when there are esters in there, and this is a different kind of a smell. It's softer. It's again wheatier. I think that's really the key here is the wheat profile. Like I said, that's a lot of malt and wheat and oats and different things going on. In addition to the coriander, the sea salt, which is standard for a Goza, key lime puree, as well as lactose, which even is going to add to the creaminess even more.
Have we had a Goza and or sour with lactose in it before?
Not that I recall, no.
Because,
oh boy. Well,
nervous.
I mean, and with that, we shall now sip the beer, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's sip it. I'm sipping out of this dope Canadian Goose.
And I just have a tulip glass.
But all right. Glass. What a loser.
Here we go.
Cheers. Lime is strong.
Yeah, but those softer flavors are actually strong too, which that's the part that really surprised me about it. Yes, lime Goza. When I read key lime pie Goza, I was like, okay, like it's a lime Goza, and they're calling it key lime pie. No.
Yeah,
the vanilla is there, the lactose is there.
It's
wheat,
soft. It's
soft. It is creamy. There's definitely a zing to it, but the tasting notes that come through initially, up front, you're gonna, that first sip is gonna be a little puckering. It's gonna be sour, but again, and I feel like I've said this before with Gozas, the complexity of flavor that you find in a Goza is so much more exciting to me than what I often find with like just a kettle soured beer.
Right.
Gozas allow a little bit more depth. And so you find that here. And then as you swallow it, you have the addition of like, lactose, vanilla, cream, the whipped cream on top of the key lime pie, a little bit of the graham cracker crust.
I was just about to say, I feel like when you're sipping it, it's a beer, it's a Goza. And then the back end taste for me is I just ate a dessert.
Graham cracker. Really, like that is, I mean, all of that. There's some nutmeg there. There's some ginger almost. It's like, the
vanilla is very prominent. It's very upfront. It's like the star of the show.
Yeah, I would say the vanilla and the key lime are co-starring A and B. They're getting they're double billed on same level on the call sheet. They are they're showing up for work and they're putting in the work.
I am pouring more so you guys can see. Oh, it kind of went away quickly. There's about a 4 to 5 second bit of a head retention. That kind of just leaves a ring around the glass. But bit of
no retention, no lacing.
Foamy white head for like a couple seconds, then it goes away. But yeah, wow. See, this is why I love like chocolate covered pretzels, sweet and salty, and I feel like that's kind of what you get here.
Absolutely, because it is a Gose. So yeah, we're talking about these sweet flavors, but I think it's it almost goes without saying, but it's inherent in the Gose style. Salt is obviously present. It's a Gose. It's brewed with salt water, so it is the counterbalance of sweet and salty, which is what makes it really good. This is a little shocking to me. I got to be honest. I like Goses, but I didn't expect to like this as much as I do. And it's very good.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected. Like, even after reading online of what it would be like and reviews and this and that, I kind of was just like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I did read one review that said, I want to eat a piece of key lime pie with this. And I think that might be a little overkill. I think it's just too much lime coming from different directions, but it is kind of the same thing in a way.
They're similar flavors. I don't know what it would do for you. It's not. I don't think it's going to distract from the key lime pie all that much because it's the same flavor. But I also don't know that it's going to enhance anything. It might just mute the beer. But I'm taken by the back end and the lingering flavor of graham cracker. That's, I think, the most impressive thing about this beer to me.
Yeah,
is that is there. I
think the lime up front and then the back end flavor might be my favorite parts.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, outside of that, it's a Gose. It's effervescent in the mouth. It's got some zing. It's got some pucker. But the creaminess, the sweetness, those things are unexpected, not overdone at all. It's subtle, but it's definitely present, and it's really, really good.
5.2%. If you really like this and you want another one, you probably can sling one or two and not feel too buzzed or what have you. Very, very chill. Very, very easy to go down.
Yeah. It's very good. Gabe's gonna get into the can art later, but I would describe it as green screen green if I had to pick.
Case in point.
On YouTube, and you want to enjoy that, we always, because we're children at heart, and so this makes us laugh. But it's an impressive, different take on the Gose. If you are like, I like sours, like I like fruity sours. I don't think this is going to be the best thing on their menu for you just because they have other options, but it will definitely work. But if you're someone who likes Goses with a little bit of a twist, if you're like a soft drinker, you're looking for something sort of wine-like or just something summery, this is really good. And if you like Goses, this might be just something that's like, oh, I've never had anything like that. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would say if you're getting a sour flight, definitely have this be at least one of the options. I mean, you have to. I mean, I just think it's so different from every other sour you might have had. It kind of is standalone in a way, and I think it's worth exploring, even if, like what Steven said, you prefer the tough, tart, fruity stuff. Yeah, for sure, but like give this one some love. Let's talk about this brewery from Normal. I can't get over that. It's so funny to me.
It's really funny. I mean, again, we're children. We own it. We know it. It doesn't matter. But it's just humorous, and it puts a smile on our faces. But they are an excellent brewery. Their slogan is support flavor, boycott bland. And that's on all the cans. It's in everything they do. It's their philosophy. But they're a independent craft brewery and restaurant. They have they have the two locations. They have a huge beer list. They have beautiful looking food, and they're distributed pretty widely. So, we do breweries on this show that are small. We do breweries that are big. We've done everything from Sierra Nevada. We've even done big beer like Budweiser and stuff like that on here. Not Budweiser specifically, but we've done stuff like that. But we prefer craft. We prefer independent breweries. Sometimes it's a situation like last week where we were featuring Hidden Sands, which basically you have to go to New Jersey to get it because that's pretty much where they are. But this week we're doing a brewery that you can get in most of the United States with a few exceptions. And yes, because you're wondering, that exception list does include the great state of Montana.
Did you just say the greatest state ever?
I said the great state of Montana.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait a minute. We haven't been there. We have to
We're not
figure
gonna
it
give
out
it that
first.
yet. But outside of that, I mean, you can get it in most of Middle America. You can obviously get it in California and New York because that's what Gabe and I did. You can even get it in Alaska. So you can get it all over the place.
Hell yeah. It's the same old story. Started off as a home brewing system. The current founder, CEO, and brewmaster, his name is Matt Potts. He received a homebrew kit from his lovely wife, Lynn. Good job, Lynn. And started home brewing, fell in love with it. He was practicing law and brewing professionally. So Matt and Lynn decided, you know what, enough's enough. Let's branch out. So after several months of collaboration, the first Destihl Restaurant and Beer Works opened for business on November 23rd, 2007. Brewery blew up, won a bunch of major awards, gained national attention, which leads to, as Stephen mentioned it, expansion. May of 2013, they opened the GE warehouses in Bloomington, Illinois, with the first batch of beer brewed on May 31st, 2013. So they're used to this. They know what's up. If you look at their beer list, I don't know why I was expecting not as many, but I mean, the page just kind of kept going. I was like, oh, damn. So they have a lot of stuff, and they are veterans in the beer world, which is really great to see.
Well, yeah, so what they did, I think the GE warehouse was actually their original location. What they did was they constructed this beautiful state-of-the-art 47,000 square foot space, which is in the place that they now have in Normal. It's on 6 acres of land. It's huge. And the new brewery was commissioned by April 2017.
Right,
so
yes, that's what it is, yes.
Yeah, so that space opened to the brewery, or to the public in May of 2017. The GE warehouse was the original space, but basically they were blowing up and they were seeing a lot of demand, and by 2015 they just needed a new place to go. They also do contract.
They're doing well when they spend $15 million on a new brewery.
Yeah, Jinkies. That's not chump change, but it's a beautiful brew. I mean, if you look at it, it's it's very pretty, and they do contract brewing. So it's kind of like, honestly, for the Connecticut people out there, this is a Homer thing, but it really reminds me of Two Roads a lot. It's an independent brewery. But it looks like Two Roads, and
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, it kind of has like an Area 2 vibe to it, but I was like, no, we talk about Two Roads too much. Thank God I didn't say it and you did.
Yeah, I don't.
Now I mean, snowball off of that.
It's right. A frame of reference. So their production brewery has a 60-barrel conventional brew house and a 240-barrel sour kettle brew house, a 10-barrel pilot brew house, over 1,700 barrels of fermenters and cellar tanks, 100-can per-minute canning line, bottling line, centrifuge, keg washer, filler, wood barrels, and feeders, whatever it is. The word we don't know how to say for beer aging, and a large beer cooler warehouse and quality control lab.
Come on, man.
That was a lot to say. I didn't even realize as I started to say it that I was going to say all that.
You just kept going. I appreciate it. I like it. Good for us. Good for Destihl.
Yep. And if you're new here, Gabe and I don't know how to say the word Foudre. We think it's fooder, but it might be feeder. It might be fodder.
We're not sure. It's feeder.
The internet says all different kinds of things. I have heard multiple things from different people at different breweries.
What's hilarious is this conversation came up, 25 episodes ago?
This conversation has happened.
I think it's funny that we don't know.
It's an ongoing thing on the show, and yeah, we could have figured it out by now, but like I said, we've tried, and so what we do, whenever that word appears in front of us, we say every version of it possible because we're probably getting it right somewhere along the line.
I was just about to say, if we say it every single way, technically we're not wrong. We did say it right. We just added a bunch of other words.
We just made it fun.
Yeah.
It's so Destihl Brewing, we'll get into what they have on tap later, but it's definitely not just for sour people. It's a very big brewery, and like we said, they do have a beer hall and a tap house. So the beer hall features 30 taps. It's in their new space. It's got American-inspired pub fare, and then they have a barrel room, which is an event space, but it's also like just a room with barrels stacked like to the ceiling, and that is like pretty much what Gabe and I dream of late at night. I mean, it's
pretty much.
It's the most beautiful thing ever. So
I would love to get in there and, get into some barrels, open them up and see what's inside.
Also the bar. I mean, they have a 30, like I said, it's a 30 tap system, but the bar is like just, it's like,
sheesh.
It's something to look at. I mean, if I'm ever in Normal, I'll, if I ever get to Normal, I will have to give this a go.
Bro, you got to get Normal. You gotta get Normal.
Gotta get into Normal.
Good for Normal. Last thoughts on key lime pie.
I like it so much better. And it's not that I didn't think I was going to like it. Sometimes a beer name is just a beer name. And sometimes it's not exactly, Key Lime Pie Goza could be a lime Goza and with not much to it. But they really mean it when they say it. I mean, the lactose, the creaminess, the vanilla, the graham cracker finish. I mean, the flavors, the ingredients, everything in there. This is so much more than just a standard lime Goza. And I think they did a great job with it. It's really well balanced. It's refreshing. It's delicious. I want another one.
Yeah, I would agree. Fluffy comes to mind. It might be a little much, but soft, creamy, flavorful, yes, all there. Salty, but in a good way. I would call this some sort of like this is like a science experiment. I think it's just so unique and weird in so many great different ways, and for the geniuses to kind of put something like this together takes literally a science.
Yeah.
So I have an appreciation for that. If you don't like the taste, if you don't like Gozas, if you don't like the style, what have you, I mean, you got to give it up for these guys. They took a key lime pie, right? And they threw it in a tank. They turned the knob and out came this. So
and that's all it takes to be a great brewer. So if you're someone who's sitting out there and you're like, guys, this is great, but this is sounding a little bit like that Jim Beam commercial. Like, why all the weird ingredients? Why the key lime pie? I don't want all that. Just give me a Goza. Just give me a standard Leipzig style Goza with all the things that entails. I don't want a key lime pie. Well, guess what? Fine. We have a beer for you. And it's the next beer that we're going to do. And we're getting into it right now.
Fine. We have one. Back up.
So that's right here. And it's the Here Goes a Nothin. See what they did there?
Here goes a Nothin.
Here goes a Nothin. It's what I will say about it right off the bat is, before I even give the facts of the beer or anything, is the carbonation in this glass is way beyond what I had going on with the other one. It is extremely carbonated. Color-wise, just about the same, maybe a little bit darker, maybe around a 6 or 7 on the SRM chart. But it's very highly carbonated in the glass.
There's a party going
on
in these glasses.
Yeah. So the facts of the beer itself, it is a 5.2% beer. Also has 12 IBUs. Beer Advocate has it at 89, Untapped at 3.74. And the description from the brewery: we threw caution to the wind with our interpretation of a Leipzig-style Goza featuring complex aromas and acidic flavors, contributed to by indigenous wild yeast and lactic fermentation. Lemon, lime, and other citrus-like qualities are balanced by the spicy character of coriander and a mineral mouthfeel from French sea salt, resulting in a refreshing beer that was worth the risk.
Listen, I just copied and pasted. Don't get mad at me.
Worth the risk? What risk? Oh, I guess they're referring to when they threw caution to the wind.
Yeah, that one. I don't know.
All right. Well, somebody risked something to make this beer, and here it is in front of us. So,
somebody lost a toe on the job. It was worth the risk, man.
I mean, basically what I'm saying is the Key Lime Pie Goza, we probably should have done them in reverse order, but we're here now. But the Key Lime Pie version is a key lime version of this exact beer. The malt profile in here is exactly the same. It's 2-row malt. It's Munich malt. It's aromatic malt. And it's got wheat and flaked oats. It also has coriander and it has sea salt. What it doesn't have is key lime puree, vanilla, and that's
Not getting
and
any
the
lime
lactose.
off of this. Don't know why. Oh, wait.
There's also no lactose in here, so that is worth mentioning. But other than that, the ingredient list is the same, and it's a straight up Goza classic. That's what we're doing.
calories. This one is available year round. The key lime version is available usually July to September. So if you really want it, get on it. I mean, right off the bat, the smell is obviously a little different from the key lime, but it's still got the fruity funkiness side to it.
And the wheat is just so strong in this to me, even more so than in the lime. I was picking it up in the lime, but like wheat, straw, the best way I can compare it is like put your nose in a Blue Moon or a Shock Top, whatever that wheatiness is that you're used to there.
Yeah.
That's what's in here as well.
And then sour it.
Yeah, there's some sour, but you don't pick up, like you said, you don't pick up as much citrus on the nose. You don't pick up as much lime on the nose, and you don't pick up as much sour esters on the nose, I don't think.
It's more bready, crackery.
Mm-hmm.
But, due to all the malts and whatnot, flaked oats, that ought to do it. But, yeah, I mean, the carbonation is crazy. It just looks like a regular beer.
The carbonation is intense. The coriander is there for sure. The spices are there, pickling spices a little bit. But the predominant thing here is the wheat. That's what comes through on the nose more than anything else, more than citrus. And I think, like you said, that kind of leans into bread. But it's just not as sweet as the key lime pie, which makes sense.
It's not as inviting in that way. It might be a standalone, but we're never going to tell until we drink it. And I always say, it's not doing any good just sitting in the glass. You know what I'm saying?
It's not saving any lives sitting here in our hands. So
here we go.
Down the gullet.
Down to the stomach. Here we go. All right. I think, wow. Very, very carbonated. Like, whoa. Very, very soury. I think, earlier when we said, I'm one of those sour people. I don't really like the key lime. Like, I want like a sour. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Here we go.
We found it.
It's literally right here.
We found it. It's right here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once again, the wheat is a lot stronger than you expect it to be in a sour, but I think that's nice and refreshing. But this is much more straight up. It's a sour tart beer. It's got a lot of funk. It's got the Goza thing. It's got the coriander. Citrus is there. It's really subtle. I mean, I don't even know if you could pick up a kind of citrus.
I don't even really get it.
It's a little bit of lime with a lot of salt. But it's puckering as hell. It's much more just straight shooting down the middle. Here's a Goza, and here goes a nothing.
But it's very just, as you said, it's just straight up. I think that's a safe way to play it, to be honest. Which is fine.
It's classic, is what it is. And
there's nothing wrong with that. I think in a flight, this has to be like number one, and then maybe go to the key lime pie version. I think if I'm getting a sour flight, knowing what I know now, I don't know that I'd add this to the list, just because I want something crazy. I want something different. I want something weird, and this is just straight up, which is fine. But
if you're getting a flight of sours, I think this is a sour equivalent to getting like a Pilsner thrown on there. It's like, it's there to cut it. It's the vanilla ice cream. It's like, it's there to just, it's neutralizing. It's there to be like the basic. Now let's go to the crazier stuff.
Right.
But I think it's really good. I mean, I think, I'll say again what I said before, which is that if you are a fruity sour person, I don't think this is really going to do it for you, especially this one, because there's not a lot of fruit. But if you're just someone who likes that zing, if you're like, I'm a champagne drinker, I'm a wine drinker, I want something tart and sour, but I don't want a lot of berry, I don't want a lot of sweet, I don't want a lot of flavor, then this is really good for you. And again, I maybe I say this too often, I don't know, but the depth of flavor that a Gose brings to me is so much more interesting than other ways that you can get fermented beers. There's a depth of flavor here. There is salt. There is spices. There is wheat and yeast and a malt thing happening.
If you like bubbles, look no further.
There's bubbles, which are fun.
Bubbles. Yeah, it's just very... it almost might be a little too carbonated. Like every time I sip it, I'm like, oh...
Yeah, it's puckering, and I would have been interested to see if we had done them in the other order, and maybe that's an oversight on our part, but it would have been interesting to see.
Whoops.
But it gave us a nice clean shot at the key lime, which I think was nice because I think that had more delicate flavors than this does, and that was a softer, creamier, more, kind of just a different experience. So we ate dessert before dinner.
We're adults.
So
we can do that.
We can do what we want.
What are you gonna do, huh? Summer. Barbecue on the porch with your friends. Maybe a rocking chair. Maybe a game of cornhole. I don't know.
Why not? On the boat.
On the boat.
By the water.
By the lake house. Skipping rocks.
Playing croquet in the yard.
Fishing.
Sure. Any of those things. if any of those things spoke to you, go get the Here Goes a Nothin from Destihl Brewing.
Destihl.
If you're on YouTube, Gabe is in a new location, but he did bring Bob Ross with him, and now it's time,
Bobby,
as it is every week, for us to call upon the man, the myth, the legend, Bobbert Ross.
Can Art and Crafts.
Bobby travels with me everywhere. He is my carry-on. As always, we're going to go in order. We start with the key lime pie Goza, and you know what? We're not going to go in order. We're just going to do them both at once because, let's be real, they look almost identical. The key lime pie Goza can is a darker green. The Here Goes a Nothin is a little bit of a lighter green. But yeah, we basically just got the logo. The wild sour is big and bold with the description of the beer. We got some lines on the design. Not really a lot of artwork, more of just like a design, but it's fun. It's bright, and I have an appreciation for that. Now, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to mention artwork about another beer that this brewery has. And the reason I'm doing that is because, I'm going to be honest, I just couldn't bring myself to not do it. The brewery has what they are calling their Deadhead IPA series. Quote, melds the alluring vibe of our favorite music with unbounded takes on the hoppy beers we love to drink, unleashing a whole new groove. These cans, I wish we had strictly for Can Arts and Crafts. We don't even have to drink them. I would like to drink them, but here we go. We're looking at a black colored can with bright lights. Each can has a skull with a full mustache and beard and a headband the color of the can. Touch of Haze is orange, Haze of the Dead is blue, Driving That Haze is purple, Extended Jam is pink. They're bright, they're fragrant, they stand out. I love, if you know me, you know I love like the black background with like, they're basically like neon colors, and they're just very bright and very playful. And I saw these online and I was like, dude, what do I have to do to get one of these cans and add it to my collection in my apartment? So here we go. The ones we got today, solid fives, great art, great design, bright colors. The bright colors is what really does it. These cans I'm looking at online, the Deadhead IPA series, solid 9. I mean, these are great. They're bright. They're effervescent, if you will. They're not effervescent. That's something else. But they're bright and colorful, and they just look so dope. Like, I want this on a t-shirt, and they really stand out. Driving That Haze, the purple one, it's purple, yellow, and black. It looks like one of the Lakers jerseys. It looks incredible. And for those reasons, those are the scores I give. As I said, Bob Ross is here. He made the trip with me. We're boys. And that is another amazing edition of Can Arts and Crafts.
You used the word fragrant, and I'm bothered by it. But
Fragrant. Did I say fragrant?
you did.
I was speaking very quickly.
So the can art was fragrant?
Yes. Shut up, Steven. You don't know how to say feeder.
No, yeah, that's fair. Listen, Destihl. All right, Gabe mentioned it. They have this this Dead series.
It looks incredible.
Wild. But they have a lot of beers for the non-sour people. We happen to be doing sours today, but that Dead series is all hazy IPAs. They got low-calorie hazy IPAs. They got all the things that everybody has on the trends of everything. Their Wild Sour series includes a Flanders-style red, which is apparently a sour red, which is fun. They have a Berliner Weiss. They have other stuff. They got a Margarita Goza. They got a Pina Colada Goza. They got more in that series. And then they have their standards as well as seltzers. But their core brands include a Hefeweiss, a Pils. It's called the Normal Pils, named after the town that they're in. But I bet it's normal.
I would like to bring to your attention a Russian-style Imperial Stout at 11.4%. Can I get an amen?
No, but you can get a Mike Breen.
Bang! Exclamation point!
Basically the same thing, so great.
They got a Mango IPA. They got a Fruity Juicy Tropical 5 Ale. And like I mentioned, they do have seltzers. And you know what? Let's close out their sour series with a Gose Ale that has blueberry in it. Because if there's an opportunity in a week to roll it out, I'm going to. Listen, we know that we may be overusing that drop.
We're not,
but
though.
It's very funny, and I'd advise you to go to YouTube and look at it. They also have a Gose Ale with blueberry, vanilla, and cinnamon.
Yeah, I saw that. They have, like I said, so they got the Deadhead series, they got the Wild Sour series, they even have this Russian doll. It's, you know, those dolls where it's like you take one out and there's a smaller one inside?
Yeah.
The Russian Matryoshka or nesting doll. I don't know how to say that, but they have that. They have a lot of series, and they have a lot of beers for each series. So that's how you know, like, this brewery knows what they're doing. They are veterans in the beer game. Like, they have so many offerings that it's really cool to see that.
And I really wanted to move on, but then one click took me to the rare and in limited beer section of their website, and it's just...
Yeah.
I mean, they got a Scotch Ale, they got Belgian Golden Strongs, they got rye wine-style ale aged with oak, and then they have a whole section of just barrel-aged beers, one of which is a 15% bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with chocolate, cinnamon, and chilies.
Oh,
so you're gonna want to make your way to Destihl or Distill or but whatever it's called, brewing.
Make your way to Normal.
They get Normal and get to Destihl because they got a lot of beers and they're crushing it in the middle of the country.
Wow.
Speaking of the middle of the country, we have one more thing to talk about before we leave, and
this one's a doozy.
Well, here we go.
Last call.
Steven, I'm going to let you take the reins on this because you were the one that introduced me to this, but I can't wait to share my feelings, so proceed.
We are in the wide world of sports this week, sort of. Sort of, but not really. It's more what happened at the sporting event. So I think a lot of people know the MLB hosted a Field of Dreams game. This was a little more than a week ago, so we're not going to talk about that so much, although I did watch the event and it was pretty
We're not
cool.
going to talk about the fact that the Yankees blew it in the bottom of the ninth. But
that was
whatever.
a really rough ending to that game. We're not going to talk about that, but it was an interesting little game, you know, a fun way for the MLB to try and get people interested because, as we've discussed on the show before, frankly, they're the inferior sport. But this is not the point. The point is that Guy Fieri during the show at one point they just showed this briefly before going back to the game, and I was like, wait, I need way more information. Guy Fieri created for the game an apple pie hot dog, which was served at the game. Fans were eating it, and I was disturbed by it. So this is an all-beef hot dog, all right? You with me so far? All-beef hot dog. You picture it long, beefy.
Don't ever say that again.
Long hot dog in apple pie filling. Are you confused yet? Then featuring Guy Fieri's signature bacon jam enclosed in a flaky pie crust. So we're just going to pause there and say it really doesn't even look like a hot dog. It looks, all right, if I'm being honest, it looks like an empanada that's misshapen with a beefy nub sticking out the end. That's what it looks like.
It looks like an oversized Hot Pocket that exploded in the microwave.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. But
and there's
I'm
just
not even
a picture of Guy Fieri
but I'm not even
Guy
done.
Fieri approaches it, you know something crazy is about to happen.
So they took this weird thing with the beefy nub sticking out the end, and then they topped it with an apple mustard drizzle, apple pie spice, and demerara sugar. So, this happened. It happened. It was there. It was real. I saw it on TV. They showed it on Fox, which makes it real. And I don't know how to feel about it because, I mean let's call it what it is. It's an apple pie laxative. I mean, look at this thing. You cannot eat that and think, I'm going to go on with my day. No, you're on the couch. You're done for the day. Like this is when you call it quits. Like, I don't know how you'd be able to drive home after this. I mean, you're the guy who said you love mixing sweet and savory, and this is a mix of sweet and savory if ever I've seen one.
I'm thinking like chocolate covered pretzels, key lime pie, apple pie and hot dog. I don't think so.
Yeah, because there's apple pie filling in there. So there's like apples and apples, the apple pie filling, like apples mixed with like cinnamon and vanilla and all that.
Let me ask you this. Do you want to taste meat while eating an apple pie?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I can't.
Thank you.
None of this. This, to me, listen, all the respect to Guy Fieri that we can possibly muster. Love diners, drive-ins, and dives to a degree, but he opened up a restaurant near where we live, and I've never eaten at it, but I have read the menu, and I would say this is very Guy Fieri-esque. His food tends to be a little bit excessive for me, a little bit, huh? What? Yeah, I would say whatever the word streamlined means to you, the opposite of that is Guy Fieri. It's
sure.
It's a little much, but this is, I mean, the thing is that the broadcast just said it and then kept going. And I was like, wait, back up. Who cares about this? Who cares about the fifth inning? What did they say?
Come on down. Get one of Guy
Kevin
Fieri's.
Costner get one?
Apple pie filled hot dog. Yeah, no, I can't even like wrap my head around it. Like, I just feel like it's like when people get a hot dog and they put like everything on it. It's like, I don't have judgment for that, but me personally, I wouldn't do it because I don't taste the hot dog. Like, I ketchup, we're good to go. That's all I need. But this some other shit.
I'm not even really a chili dog person myself.
No.
Not because I don't understand. I mean, I can get behind, I guess, but I like chili. I like hot dogs. I don't put them together very often, but I understand the appeal. I do. This is a little scary. And then on top of it, you got bacon jam. So now you got a different part of the pig in whatever the part of the pig that the hot dog is on top of it, plus the apples. The apples are like, what am I doing here? I wasn't grown for this. I'm supposed to be healthy. You ruined me. The pie crust is like, don't get me involved in this.
What's
then it
hilarious
just gets stuffed.
is like these baseball players, like this is like the last thing any of them would ever eat. And it's like,
absolutely.
Baseball. And all the baseball players are like, no, like we're working out and running. Yeah, it looks like an empanada, like you said, with a nub. Like I can't not see after you said it. Empanada with a nub, I think is perfect. I want that like on a t-shirt.
In fairness, Guy Fieri did announce this on Instagram. He said, "You guys know I love baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, but huge thanks to Chevrolet for asking me to bring the hashtag apple pie hot dog to life." So we have Chevrolet to really blame for this at the end of the day. And
well, I'm not buying a car from them.
Yeah, so if you buy a Chevy, you've contributed to the horror that is an apple pie hot dog. If you had one, if you happen to be at the game and are listening to this show, first of all, interesting. Are you from Iowa? Tell us about that. But also, let us know how it was. We'd love to hear more. We're disturbed, but Gabe and I have eaten some wrong-minded shit in our day, and
not on this level though. I would love to hear someone's thoughts, your honest thoughts. I don't want to hear like, yeah, it was flavorful. No, like, tell me, how did you feel afterward? Are you okay? Are you a different person? I love Guy Fieri, but one of the big tips I have with him is that he's a Raiders fan, and there's no room for that negativity on this show. But that's just me.
That's fair. I accept that. And with that, on that happy note, we're going to keep sipping these sours and we're going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for joining us for round 86. We will be back next Thursday. And until then, hit us up. Let us know your thoughts, your feedback, positive or negative, but preferably positive. And we'll see you next
Drink
week.
good beer. Love each other. Say something nice. See you later.
Bye.